Okay, good afternoon, people. This is the beginning of week 11. Got 2 more weeks left. So I started the concept of parameterization on Friday. I talked about it for 10-15 minutes. So we're going to do some more problems today and a quick review of what I did actually say on that day. The next 2 weeks the topics that we're going to cover are this business of parameterization and a closely related subject, which is called design table. Okay, now we're going to do it first in the context of a part, so we can do parts, and once we have a some understanding of how that thing works, both for creating parameters and a design table, we're going to move on to assemblies. Okay, so let me remind you what this business was to begin with. So we go here, let's make a part. Okay, I'm going to make a box for you. All right, so on a convenient plane, on this plane, I will draw a rectangle. There we are. And I'm going to dimension it, this and that, and exit. And we're going to pad it. Okay, good. And let me also put an edge fillet here. So here is a dress-up feature, edge fillet. So I'll put an edge fillet there. And let's say, I don't know, I'll make a little bit bigger so you can see it. All right. I hope this is recording. Just 1 second. It is recording. All right, good. So first thing I'm going to do is to save file, save management, save as. That's a good habit. Desktop. New 111. July 26. 26. I'll put down a 1 here. It's the first problem that I'm doing. Where did it go? Right there. Okay. Now, when you click on f of x, this knowledge toolbar right here, you click on f of x, this long list of things show up. And this has to do with all the stuff that you have done in your part. For example, if you look at this line, that's the first pad limit, 0.787, that's the default. If you scroll down here, for example, those dimensions that I put down, if you go to that, sketch, there's the sketch, okay? There's some dimension. This is one of them, right? 5.95. And then there's another one here. That's the, where's the other one? There, that's this one, okay? There's one for fillet, so edge fillet is right there. This is the edge fillet, you can see that. So anything that you did is appearing in this list. By the way, notice that some of these say true or false, or true or not true. If I select this, see that? This is the edge fillet right there. And if I don't want the edge fillet to be involved, if I deactivate it, okay, let me show you here first of all. Expand this thing. See the edge fillet? If you don't want this thing to be active, you can do it from here, false, apply, and notice that this becomes deactivated, and obviously that says false. So you know what this true and false is. So let's put it back where it is. Okay, good. Now, these names, for example, if you look at one of these dimensions, like or was in the sketch, sketch. If you look at this, that is the CATIA database name for that particular dimension. Now, if this is bothering you, you don't like to remember this, then you can always rename this thing. You can always call this thing width, W, for example. If you don't want to think about, where's the other one? Another one is here, for example. This one was this radius. This is the name. If you don't want to, if you want to rename this thing to something more meaningful to you, you can actually give it a different name. For example, big R or something like that. All right, good. Now, when I did the problem on Friday, this is how I started. I said that, okay, I don't like these names. I'm going to call this thing R. I'm going to call the other one W, etc. That is just a renaming. I'm not going to do it today because the choice is yours whether you want to do that or not. It doesn't impact our development of today's lecture. Okay, now, then there's down here, there's something called parameters of different type. Now notice that this column also says parameters, but I want to remind you that this thing is when you actually create a parameter. These are the default things, which are also parameters, but internally developed and set by CATIA. But if you want to create some stuff with a of a certain type, you do it right here. So let me do that. Let me do quickly new parameter, length 1. I don't like length 1. This is the first parameter name. I don't like that. So I'm going to call it, for example, H. Okay, H being later on the height of the pad. Okay, now if I left it here as 0, it's going to cause you some headache later on. So let me put some, let's say, a nominal height that I think is what I want. How about 1? You can leave it at 0. There's no problem, as long as you don't panic when things don't go right. Okay. Now, by the way, if you click on the screen, sorry, let's move on. Another one. I want this length, the width of one of these, for example, this to be L. So another one of type length. I'm going to call it L. Now, I'm not going to leave it at 0 because then it's going to be a 0 rectangle and then padded, all kind of mess will happen. So I'll make it 8. Another one, that's this guy, W. So I'll call it W. Oh, no, I'll make it 8 also. That really doesn't matter. And finally, the radius, the fillet radius. So new parameter. Now, this is where you have to be a little bit careful because I'll call it R. Well, first of all, if I left it at 0, there won't be any fillet, which is not an issue. But if I made this thing too big, then it may completely destroy your sketch. Because remember, if the length is 8 and the width is 8, the fillet cannot be 10 or cannot be even 8. Okay, so if you put an unreasonable number here, then your sketch might get screwed up, and unless you undo it sufficient number of times to get you back where it was, it's going to be a big problem. Okay, so I'm going to make it, I don't know, 2 is good, in view of the fact that the width and the length, or the length is 8, so fillet radius of 2 is not going to destroy anything. Okay, good. Apply. Now, so these are the ones that I create. These are parameters that I created. Okay, these are parameters that I created. And if you want to just see those, you don't want to see everything, because right now you can see everything, including these. You can say rename right there. Okay, good. Now at the moment it's just 4 numbers that I've created. Okay, and we just leave it the way it is. Now, notice that these parameters appear in my tree. If you're doing this thing for the first time, these parameters may not appear in your tree, and you have to go and do tools, options. I talked about this thing on Friday. If you want, you can go and watch the video. Under infrastructure, part infrastructure, display tab, You say, show me the parameters that I create and any equations. If I uncheck these, these are going to disappear. You can see that. Just uncheck this. The parameters are still there, but they don't appear in the tree. So tools, options, parameters, and relations. Relations means formulas. And then say OK, and obviously the parameters will appear. No relations yet. OK, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my f of x. OK, oops. There. OK, good. Now, if I click on this on the part, all the dimensions that actually drive this model appear. For example, this guy is the path height, and I want that to be equal to my parameter h. So you don't have to select it, it's already selected, you can see that. Add a formula equal to h, right? H, if you don't remember, you can get it from here, double click on this, or you can select it from the tree. If I select this thing from tree, it's going to be equal to h. Right there, you see that? If I had double clicked on this thing, same thing would have happened. Okay. Now, that guy is right here. Add a formula equal to L. Okay. This fellow, add a formula equal to W. Okay. Now I want to get the radius of the fillet here. The reason that you're not getting it, if you select the edge fillet, it will appear right there. Okay. Add a formula. Oops. Yeah, equal to R. Very good. Okay. Remember all those dummy values that I put for these? So it's going to, if I say apply, it's going to update this geometry according to dummy values that are inputted. Remember when I created these things, I said don't use 0, 0, 0, otherwise you may regret it. You may or may not, I don't know. Apply. So these are the updated value right there. So now you can go to your tree, double click on H. You don't have to double click on H, just a second. Say OK, never mind. Select this, double click on this, say 2, that's the palette height. There we are. 4, there we are. There. Length, this was the length, right? So let's make it 16 or 18. There we are. Okay. Radius of the fillet, let's make it 0.1 or 0.5. There we go. See that? It's a lot smaller, right there. Okay. So this is the idea behind parameterizing a solid model. Now I'll do 3 more involved problems. So notice that those relations that I created, remember I selected that dimension and I said that it's equal to h and it's equal to x, something equal to L, equal to W, etc. They're here. And you can always change it. You can double click on it. For example, L. You can do all kinds of crazy things here. For example, you can say L plus, I don't know, H or 2 times L. Did you do it? Right there. Okay, let's go and, for example, make L. Well, look at it. This thing is, wait a minute, what was that? That was L, right? Yeah, but yeah, that's fine. So it's going to be whatever L plus H is. So that dimension that was what actually happened to be that is equal to whatever it is. What is that? 4 plus 1822. Let's measure this thing roughly. Where is the measure thingy? Let's go to part measure. This should be approximately 22. Let's check. Measure Yeah, 22, right there. Exactly 22, because that's the equation that I wrote. Anyway, let's do our problems for today. Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Okay. So the first problem that I want to do is this. So I want to parameterize this solid model. And in the tree, I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parameters. These are all length associated with whatever I've got here. And I want a parameter, which is a string, and determines the name of my part. A, B, C, whatever it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this thing. Now, let's go to the CATIA, start the part file. Immediately save it. File, save management. I'll use the same folder. Save as. That was the right folder. I'm going to call it example 1. Example 1. Example 1. Okay. Let's do it. So on a convenient plane, on that horizontal plane, I will draw. Notice that the way this part was, it was symmetric. This was symmetric with respect to the vertical, so I can do half of this. Or I can make the whole thing and then use symmetry. Let me do that. Let me do that. So like this, like so. Okay, I want this thing to be a circle. There. Okay, let's make it symmetric. So this line, control that line, control the middle axis. We want it to be symmetric. Okay, good. That line, control this line, control that. We want it to be symmetric. And when you do that, automatically the center of that circle is going to be placed on this vertical axis. Good. Now there are dimensions here that we're going to use. So x is that length, x and y, and t and r. Okay. So x, this is x. This is going to be x. This is going to be y. That is going to be t. And this is going to be your r. Okay, good. Exit. Exit, and then we pad it. Okay. Save it, and then we're going to create our parameters. So let's go ahead and click on f of x. We have 5. I think we have 5 parameters of type. Or is it 5? 5 parameters of type length. So I'm not going to change this because they're all length. So the first one is going to be, let's call it x, big X. Not 0, okay? Give it a nominal value. Now, if you don't know what the nominal values are, just click on that and show you what the nominal values. This is x, okay? So use roughly 7. Another one. This is going to be my y, so the nominal value approximately 3. Another one. That's going to be t, and this is 1 point. I think it says 1 point something. Yeah, 1 point something. So I'll make it, I don't know, 1. Another one. Oh, wait a minute. I better change these names. Okay, this one. What was this? This one was T, right? This was T. Okay, apply. And then this one, I meant to call it Y. I forgot. So let's select it, make it Y. Apply. And now another one, which is going to be your R. R, and the radius is, I think it's around 1. So let's make it 1. Apply. All we did was to create parameters here. That's it. And then the padded height, which I called it Z in the drawing. No, not that. What I meant was create a parameter right there. Okay, new parameter Z. I don't know, the value is 1. Apply. Now we're going to create, oh, one more. Part name. Okay, so this time I'm going to say a new parameter of type string. string. Right there. Okay, new parameter. And what should I call it? I'll call it my, actually serial number, right? That's where I wanted it to be, serial number. Okay, serial number. And a dummy name. What do you want? AAA? Okay. So I have 5 parameters of type length, 1 of type string. Okay, now we're going to associate these things with our model. So we want to say that this thing is equal to Y. Now you can select the Y from the tree. You can select it from the tree, or you can say rename, or if you remember what you wrote down, that's fine. So this is going to be Y. See that? Okay. Now, this one is going to be equal to L. The formula L. No, not L. What I meant was X. That's the length of this thing. Okay. That is going to be the formula equal to T. Okay. This is going to be your R. That's the radius of the fillet, edge fillet. The formula equal to R from the tree I'm selecting. This is the padded height. The formula equal to Z. From the tree is easier. And part name, you go to part, scroll down, part number. Ketio does not have part name, part number. Add the formula equal to that serial number. Notice that before I do that, this top here, it says part 1. Once I do this, that becomes AAA. Okay? All right. We have done everything. Now, save everything. Now, how is the GA going to mark your homework or final exam? They're going to go to, say, let's check serial number. Double click on it. I don't want AAA. I want DDD. That name on the top, better change to DDD. X is the length of this. I don't want, say, 7. I want it 17. How about that? Very good. Y is this. Y is this. So let's make it 5. Okay, good. R is the radius of that arc on the top. So let's make it 2. Good. And Z is the padded height. I don't know, 5. Okay, now again, I want to remind you that if you put an unreasonable number here, for example, if you put, for example, R equal to, remember, R is the radius of this. This whole thing was 5. If I put 7 as R, this sketch is going to get screwed up. You see? It says the sketch is self-intersecting. If you want to know what happened, you can go to the sketch and see what is it that you did that's causing a problem. Just look at the sketch. That circle is going to be outside that rectangle there. Look. Now, sometimes undo will work, and sometimes you reach a stage where things are going to get screwed up, and once you get screwed up, there's not much you can do. I mean, here, okay, it worked. Or you can go and change it from there. Doesn't matter. Okay. All right. So this was example 1. Are there any questions? Let me also remind you, it's very common for the newbies, instead of writing the thing equal to parameter, the thing equal to x, or the thing equal to y, or the thing equal to r, they write y equal to that, or r equal to that, and that is not going to work, because the right-hand side must be the parameters that you created, okay? Not parameter equal to, okay? So let's kill this. All right, second problem. Now, if you wonder, what is this thing? Why are these things here? Because later on, we're going to do the design table. And you create this table. We tell you, you create this table. And let me give you an idea of why this thing that we just did may not be necessary. Because what is the point of doing this thing? The point of doing this is you work for a company, and a client comes and says, oh, I want to design this part which looks like that. And here are the dimensions, and you change it. Maybe you have a I don't know, maybe you have a 3D printer, and the guy comes to you and says, can you make a part like that with these dimensions for me? And you say, no problem, I'll change the numbers and then get the STL file, part file, convert it to STL, send it to a 3D printer. Fine. But if you, for example, a big company, you make these parts on very special sizes, okay? And the client cannot tell you that make a part that size, because you tell them that you have these sizes. Which one do you want? That is where a design table, which is already the property of the company, you can present it to the client and says, oh, I want this part and I want that part. You're not going to make any part that they want, any dimensions that they want. And that's what design table is really. Anyway, I want to do this problem. Okay, so alpha, beta, the top is B, the bottom is L, right there. And it says these circles have radius R side, R top, and they're centered at these locations. Centered means exactly on the top and exactly on the side. And serial number and material. Good, let's go make it. First, you're going to make a nominal part. Nominal part is something that I just showed you. You can take one of these dimensions and make a nominal part for it, okay? So part, all right, immediately save it. File, save management, save as. This is example 2. Very good. Okay. And start making it. So on this vertical plane, we're going to sketch that trapezoid. The front view is a trapezoid, right? Something like that. Like so, and like so. Okay, and dimension it accordingly. So this is going to be one of my parameters later on. This is going to be another parameter later on. Remember BL, right? This angle. Is going to be one of my parameters. One of them is alpha, the other one is beta. And this. Okay, exit. Exit. And in this particular problem, it looks like the padded length is just constant. I'm not changing it. Okay, so I'll just pad it by 2. It could have been a parameter, but no, I decided not to do it here. Okay, now on that top face, I will sketch. Okay, a circle. Very frequently, people don't pay attention to these side comments. Side comments, oops. Okay. Just a second. Put it there. Okay. The side comments are, you see, the holes on the top are all the way through and centered about these faces. Okay. We don't want you to lose marks on that, so please make sure you read these things carefully. So that point, that's one way of making sure it's centered. That point, control this point, control that center, and you make it equidistant. Okay, that's still not centered though, because I can see us do have to do it on these two also. So this point, we can see that it's tilted to the left. This point, control that point, control this center, equidistant, now center. Okay, and this is going to be one of my parameters, so I have to dimension it. Let's change this into radius. Okay, good. Exit. And this must be a pocket all the way through. It says all the way through. So pocket to the last. Very good. And then there's this side. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Draw a circle. Here's a circle. And notice that, oh, come on. Okay, notice that last time I did it one way centering. Here now I'm going to do a different way. Left line, control right line. Try it again. Left line, control right line, control the center. Again, equidistant. Shifted it. And then top, control bottom, control the center, equidistant. And we're going to dimension this because it's going to be one of our parameters. Okay, exit. Pocket all the way, up to last. Yep, that was last. Very good. Excellent. Save everything. Okay, let's create our parameters. Click on f of x. Let's see. We have two things which are length. Oh, no, actually, 4 things which are length. B, L, or top or side, and 2 which are angle and material and serial number. Okay, so let's start with the length stuff. So let me select this, change it to length. All right. Okay, new parameter, L. And don't use it as 0 because 0 can be a cause for panic later on. You're going to set list length equal to 0. If you want to know good nominal values, just click on the part that shows you all the nominal values. So this is 7. That parameter h that I created, where was it? I can't remember. So let's say rename. Oh, I haven't done it yet. Okay, good. So let's create a new parameter. Oh, it was already up here, right there. So this was supposed to be 7. Apply. This is the new one, the B. I'm going to change it to B. And the nominal value is 3.5, something to that effect. 3.5. Y, a new one. Our top. Now our top is, okay, so let's see now. This is going to be our top. And if you don't see it, that's because you look at the part here. You should be looking at the sketch. See that? Remember you drew two sketches? This pocket, for example. See that? Right there. 0.794. I'll make it 0.5. How about that? Where is that parameter that I created? I haven't done it yet. Okay. Did I call? I think I called something our top. Did I not? Rename. Yeah, right here, right here. This thing I wanted to be, what was it I said? 0.7, I'll make it 0.5. 0.5. Another one. Our side. Our side. And I think this is 0.5 also, 0.535. So I'll make the nominal value 0.535, 0.5. Okay. Apply. Now, alpha, those are angles, so I have to change this thing to angle. Okay, and create it, new parameter of, I'll call it alpha, A-L-F-A. And what is the value? One of them is this, I think this, which one is which? It really doesn't matter. The left one is alpha. Okay, so it is 40 degrees, roughly 40 degrees. Apply. And another one, beta. Beta. And it looks like this is 70, roughly 70 degrees. 70 degrees. Apply. And I want to string type. So let's go to the strings. String. Okay. Created. New parameter of type string. I'll call it serial number, right? What was the name of it? In the table, it was serial number, right? Right. Serial number. Serial number. Yeah, a dummy thing, dummy. I'll call it dummy. Apply. Or say a new one. That's going to be for me material. I'll call it, what do I have here in the table? Mat. Okay. I'll call it mat. Mat. And I'll put some, it can be dummy material. I'm gonna say iron. Starts with a big I. Okay. Apply. Because if you put something else here, I don't know, irony, it says I don't have irony. Or if you put I don't know, concrete, it might say I don't have concrete. Actually, concrete, they have it. But okay, this is it. Now look, all these parameters that I created are right here. Right here. Okay. All right, now we're going to introduce our equations. So let's start. For example, I want this to be add a formula equal to L. So, okay. I want this top one, add a formula equal to B, right? B. Okay. I want this top radius, top thing, add the formula equal to our top. I want this fellow on the left, add the formula equal to our side. Or you can select from the dialog box, okay? I want this angle, add the formula equal to alpha, right here. Oh, wait a minute. I screwed up. I screwed up here. Okay, cancel this. Okay, that angle. Where is the angle? This angle. this angle. See that? Add the formula equal to alpha. This guy on the right, this angle, add the formula equal to beta. Okay? Very good. Now, as far as the material and name, so you say okay. Okay. You click on the part, you scroll down, you find part number, add a formula equal to serial. As soon as you see that, this becomes dummy, right? Because you call serial up. Okay, this becomes dummy. See that right there? And select your material. We got to scroll up, find the material. If not, click on the dummy, or click on the part, find material. It must be somewhere. I'll try. Oh, I didn't put a material on it, right? So that's what it is. Say okay. Up to this point, everything is okay. And all our relations are there. But because I want to change the material as a parameter, well, first I better put a material on it. So apply material. A dummy material. So for example, I don't know, aluminum. On that, say okay. And now you're going to go back to f of x. Okay. So there is a material down here somewhere. Well, it should be aluminum right here. Material, add a formula equal to math. We can select it from the tree. There. Say okay. And say okay. Now, first of all, notice that the material immediately changed to iron because the current value was iron. So let's try. I don't move these things. I'm going to scroll. Okay, let me move this thing there so you can see it. All right. Okay. I want to collapse. Unfortunately, I can. Oh, materials here. Very good. Okay, good. Let's start changing stuff. So L was this length. Okay, so let's make it 10. Okay, this becomes longer at the bottom. Now, if you don't believe it, just measure it. It should be 10. Here, I'm going to measure it. Where is it? Did I not change it? Oh, I didn't change it. Sorry. Double click on this. 10. 10. It should become longer. Believe me, it did become longer. Okay. Let's try the angle alpha. This is the angle on the left. Let's make it 90. It should become vertical. See that? Still maintains everything at the center. Let's take see this? Let's take that our side from 0.5 to 0.2. That was a tiny hole right there. Let's take your material from iron, change it to steel. Big S. EEL. Oops, not this steel. EEL. Okay, this material becomes steel right there. And literally, if you double click on this thing, you will have material properties for steel. And let's change the name, serial number, another dummy. AAA, that's better. So this dummy becomes AAA. Are we good? Do you have any questions? Because I'm going to show you my last problem. This is easy. It's a hammer problem. Now, the name, material, this is a hammer, length of the hammer, radius of the hammer, radius of the, where's the radius? Oh, that's radius of the fillet is here, radius of RH is over there, and yep, so let's go ahead. And angle alpha. Let's go ahead and do that. Close this. I may go 5 minutes overboard. I don't think I will, but we'll see. you will definitely get maybe one of these on the test, maybe on design table, maybe for part, maybe for assembly, who knows? Maybe both. We'll discuss those later on. Okay, file, save as, file, save management, save as. This is example 3. Okay. Okay, let's make it. Make it a dummy hammer with nominal dimensions. Okay, let me put a fillet here. Instead of edge fillet, I'm doing it over there in the sketch. That's fine. Okay, good. Let's dimension the stuff that we want. Do we have, there's an angle here. There is an angle here that you want to change as parameter. These other dimensions, it looks like I'm not making it a parameter. So basically, it can be anything. All I'm going to do is to alpha and RF, and then these other two things. Okay. So exit. The padded length is. I forgot to say what it is here. So let's make it. I don't know. Make this thing 2. Something like that. That's not a parameter, obviously it's not changing. All right, let's make it 2. Totally irrelevant. Okay. Good. On that face, I will sketch a circle. Center of that rectangular edge on the side. So let's see now. Left edge, control right edge, control the center, make it equidistant. Same thing on the top, bottom, control top, control center, equidistant. Dimension it because that's going to be one of our parameters. Okay, exit. Okay, and pad it. That's going to be one of our parameters later on. Okay, let's make it more realistic. Hammer. Okay, very good. Now let's create our parameters. So f of x, 3 length parameters. So this is a string. Might as well do the string here first. So this is going to be, what do you call, serial number? Serial number. And I put down dummy. That's just the part name, basically. Another one, mat. Now here in the table, I called it material. So, okay, would you like to do that? Let's be exactly like what it says. Now, the only thing is that there may be a parameter called material. I'm not sure. Well, let's see. We'll find out. I'll put down some dummy thingy here. So, I don't know, iron. Oh, I have to remember, I have to apply material anyways. Oh, it's going to close that. Let's apply material here. On that, aluminum, say okay. Okay. So far, we created 2 string parameters. Oh, I see that. Remember, I told you that there may be a material like that. So let's do the following. This is the one that I actually put there. Okay. So this one is, we have to delete it because there is something called material in the table. I really should have called this thing mat or something like that. My material. Anyways, let's move on. F of x. Okay. You click on this. I want that thing. Okay, first of all, I have to create my parameters. Okay, so angle, alpha, alpha, and the nominal value that you have here is 50. If you put something, I don't know, 0, it's going to come back. Hey, I can't have a hammer with a 0 angle there. That's true. That's why I'm using these nominal values. Now, this is done. Angle is done, and now I want 2, 3 length, right? So no, not this one. Now, if you did something and you don't want it, just delete it. Oh, no, delete parameter. Where is this? Delete parameter. Delete this. I didn't want it, so I deleted it. Yeah, so rename so that we can see what we have done. Yep, okay, good. We want length, 3 length. Length. This one is going to be, let's say, length of the hammer, LH, which I don't know, that can be anything here. I'll put down, I don't know, 10 inches. Okay. Another one, RF, big R, little f, big R, little f, and the nominal one is, looks like it's 0.5 something of that, 0.5. Another one, and that's the radius of this handle. Now, if you can't see it, and if you insist on seeing it, just click on it, and it says point. Okay, click on the handle, you see 0.3. So what is it? New parameter. What do we call it? I have to change the name of this. Okay, actually, this is the one that I wanted to do. That's okay. We'll fix it. So RH, radius of the handle. RH, 0.3. 0.3, apply. I made one too many. This one I didn't want, so I'm going to delete it. It's not going to hurt me, but I'm going to delete it. And now we introduce our equations. So let's select this. This is going to be radius of the handle. Add a formula. Radius of the handle. Okay. Let's select this length. This is the length of the handle. Add the formula, length of the handle, okay, and we want the fillet radius. You click on the, well, you can't see the fillet radius here, but if you click on the hammer, there we are, on the hammer head, there we are, add the formula, radius of the fillet, okay, here's the angle, select the angle from the tree, not the tree, from the screen, add the formula, angle alpha, say okay. Let's start with our serial number. You scroll down, you find part number. If you can't see it, click on the part. Scroll down, you're going to see part number here. Add a formula equal to serial number. All right. And finally, the material is right here. The material just selected. Where is that? Where is the material? There must be somewhere down here. Oh, right here. Material. Add the formula equal to. Actually, we don't have to do that because we can change it from here. We don't have to do that. This is already an equation. Is already there. You can see that. So okay. Here comes the moment of truth. Does it work? First of all, I double click on material. I'm going to change this thing to gold. Big G-O-L-D. This material should change to gold, and it will. I didn't create that. This particular one was actually already built in. Dummy, I'm going to use AAA. The name of the part, you see that? From dummy, it should go to AAA. Right there, it did. Let's take the radius of the handle. Image it. 4. I'm sorry. Oh, not the radius. Oh, the length of the handle. That's what I meant. Alpha. Let's make it 90. No angle there. Okay. And radius of the fillet. Now, if you put, I can change it. But if you put something unreasonable here, this is going to become a self-intersecting sketch, and it gives you all kind of headache. Probably 1 is okay. Yeah, but if I make this thing, for example, I don't know, maybe 3, it's going to be a disaster. Yeah, of course, because it's going to be self-intersecting. So this is how we're going to mark, the GAs are going to mark your homework and test. Fine. I went 5 minutes over work. Are there any questions? Okay, here's the deal. You already got an email from me, and the GAs are going to have the last 2 hours of the lab. This is your lab. I'm going to disappear. Wait a minute. I'm going to disappear, and the GAs are going to be there creating virtual sessions, one for problem 1, one for problem 2, and one for problem 3. You go to the session. If you want to know why you lost marks or what you did wrong, etc., they're the ones who are going to answer those questions for you. Let's see. Question. Will the final exam be taken home? My plan is, the answer is no. Right now, it's a big no. If anything changes, I will let you know. In class lab right now, I don't have a control over a lot of things. Okay, we have looked at ordering more like CATIA licenses and giving a broader band to the access pad and things like that. At this point, that is the assumption that's going to happen. If anything changes, you will be advised. All right, folks. So I'm going to disappear. The GAs are going to be there. Let's see.